Yeah, he squeaks and people are always like, is that him barking? I'm like, yes, it is.
This houseplant home tour is brought to you by Sunday, your one-stop shop for lawn care. If you're a lawn care novice and are looking for help caring for your lawn, then you may want to consider Sunday, which takes you step by step through a lawn care regime. What's wonderful about Sunday is that they do an analysis on your lawn and tailor your lawn care based on your needs. But what I love most about what they're doing is their ecological approach. If you're going to have a lawn, you might as well do it to promote ecosystem health. But even though we strive for green lawns, that is, the color green, lawn care can be notoriously toxic between all the fertilizers and herbicides used. Sunday takes an entirely different approach and opts for ingredients that help cultivate living soil. Plus, I got to nerd out and talk healthy turf with Dr. Frank Rossi, Sunday's Chief Science Officer, who you'll eventually get to see on our other channel, Flock Finger Lakes. You could take your free lawn care analysis today and get started with $10 off your lawn care kit with Sunday by clicking the link in the description below. You have a grow light set up and some shelves set up. Tell me about your grow lights first.
So these are by SOLTECH Solutions, and with my apartment being not so large, I decided I want to keep all my plants in one space and contained, and I figured the track light was sort of the best solution. So I had one wall originally. Yes, we did. We have one wall.
He's like, oh, I'm coming out now.
No, you can't come over right now. Just for today. I don't do this normally. This is a plant video, not a dog video.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you got the shelf, then you moved to this shelf.
Additional, yes.
And it's mainly Hoyas. I see that you went Hoya.
I did. It just kind of exploded through buying, trading, gifting, and all that stuff. And I just don't know what happened after a while.
And you came to some of the plant swaps.
I did. I came to 2.
Yeah.
And I remember the last one I went to, I brought so many plants because that's when I was moving.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to get rid of all of these plants. I don't care who takes them and whatever. And it became so overwhelming that one day. But I was just glad just to share these plants with people who, you know, didn't have it previously. They've been buying it for so long. So I'm happy. I'm happy.
Well, you have quite the collection here. It looks like a lot of roids, a lot of Hoyas, and some really interesting varieties, like textures and well, why don't you take me through some of your special ones? I mean, we don't have to go through everything, but like, why don't you take me through some of the ones that you really like? You said you went like Hoya crazy. I'd love to go through some of them and some new ones because there's a lot of new things here. You have the philodendron rugosum.
Yes.
Beautiful.
New
nice
leaf coming in on top.
Yeah. Do you think you're gonna stake it eventually, or do you think like how are you gonna work it as they start to get larger? They outgrow your shelves. What are you gonna do?
That is a problem that I've had. So a bunch of plants I have staked.
Yeah.
I've had to move them off the shelf, or if I want to, I'll chop them. So for example, this tortum, it was getting taller. And then I traded it with someone, so I chopped it. But now the new growth is like quite large compared to the old growth. So now I'm like, do I chop it again? Or what should I do with it? Should I move it off the shelf?
Yeah.
It's really sort of, you know, I decide in the moment.
Yeah.
But this is, you're right, this is what happens. So this leaf, for example, it's growing behind the shelf now.
Yeah.
Because it's getting quite tall. This is the philodendron ring of fire. So
he's stuck up there.
Yeah, he's kind of stuck right now.
Yeah.
And a couple of other things, and I can't figure out how to get them to grow flat as you would see in most pictures.
Yeah.
I don't know why it curls. I'm not like a pro.
Out of all your anthuriums, what has worked best for you in this environment? Because I actually have not grown a lot of the heart-shaped anthuriums, so I'm curious.
That's really interesting because I don't have that many, to be honest with you. So what I find is they have to go through that period of adjustment to your space. And my apartment is actually quite dry by comparison. So once it's died down, the two I think that do the best are probably this one, which is the red crystallinum, which I know a lot of people are loving right now. And then this is the newest leaf on the dorayaki, which is a hybrid of what I couldn't tell you.
And then it looks like you're growing that one, you're growing a lot in Lecca.
I don't know what possessed me. But I have to say, Lecca is amazing for forming roots.
Yeah.
And what I've discovered is the roots will actually form not on the outside so you can't see it.
Right.
It'll form on the inside. So once you go to repot it, it's like this ramen noodle of, roots. And it gets to the point where if it's so large that I don't know if I should put it back into Lecca.
Right.
Because I just don't have containers that large.
Yeah.
Or if I just should put it back into soil. And for me, I can go either way at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I see you also have a lot of pendulous anthuriums as well. How have you been handling those?
Sort of the same.
Yeah.
I did put them in Lecca again. So this one is a
Vitarifolium?
Yes. It had more leaves. It started to yellow off, and that's when I realized it was extremely root bound.
Yeah.
This is a baby one. And then these two, this one and that one up there is a Polydiflorum. I could be pronouncing all of these incorrectly.
And then this one, is this a Workgranonum?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I actually have two.
Okay.
There's one inside the terrarium. That's supposedly the regular one. And then this one I recently got as the dark and narrow form. And I didn't know, I've never seen one in person. I didn't know what to compare it to. So I just got it just to try it. And I guess it is more narrow than the other one. But I'm also testing that one outside the terrarium to see.
And is that a Gigas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that one suffers tremendously outside of the terrarium.
Okay, so those are you're trying one in the terrarium of these, and then was this one, do you find that this one is better, or you just kind of like paired it in there? For space purposes.
It's kind of space purposes. Yeah. When I first got it, that one just comes with this fear of humidity issues. Yeah. So I was like, let me try it in there. It popped out a new leaf. And that's as far as I got with it so far. So not too much experience. I'd say only like 2 months.
Mexicanum?
Yes.
Oh, nice. I like the red bottoms on this.
This is a very vigorous grower.
Yeah.
I've actually had to tie it back because it started to topple over.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
It looks like you have a very well curated shelf that is approaching too many plants.
I agree with you. Thank you. It is approaching too many plants, and
you need to extend into Doggyville.
So actually, my original plan was once I put these shelves in after I bought this apartment, because we started to say before, in my old apartment, it was every plant was on the floor, and there was like dangling pendulums of like grow lights. My plan was to put up these shelves, and then the overflow, I was actually going to connect it along this way. And then the dog came, and then I was like, okay, let me put everything on hold because I don't know what he's going to do.
You don't know what you're going to do. He likes the inside of our shoes. He's like, whatever cheese was growing in here is very tasty.
Pepper, come on. Come here.
You have a lot of, like, I like to call them curtain plants.
Okay.
Because they make great curtains. But
they do.
Yeah, your string of hearts, your variegated string of hearts is astounding.
Thank you. And
it starts in that little pot up there, and then you have all of this foliage.
Believe it or not, this was my 5th plant ever. If anybody goes to my Instagram and sees, it's the very first post that I ever made. It's like a 2-inch pot this big, and then it just grew when I cut it and I cut it. And that was my first first experiment with repotting a plant. So that pot has been there. I don't know what's inside because I don't dare repot it at this point. But it's been there forever, and I don't know how I managed this because all the other string of somethings, I can't handle them. So I'm thankful for this.
This is going to be a competition between what grows faster, your hair or this.
Well, if my hair was pink and beautiful like that, I would never cut it.
And then you have a Ripsalis paradoxa, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Very easygoing. I've discovered that it doesn't like to be fertilized at all. Because then this will, actually the one you're holding is a perfect example. Yeah. It does that. And you can just break it off.
Yeah,
but,
maybe like a little fertilizer burn or whatever.
Yeah. So I've tried light.
What did you try to fertilize it with, just out of curiosity, so folks know?
I just used, I think it's just called like a balanced fertilizer, right? So it's like 20-20-20.
Yeah.
I used it at half rate.
Yeah.
I used it once and then that happened. I was like, all right, you're just getting plain water. And it's fine. It's happy.
Indeed.
It's happy. So.
And then you have a Hoya linearis, right?
Yes.
Wow, that's a nice full one too. Oops. Sorry, Sonder.
That's another one that is a very vigorous grower. It arrived and I think the strands were maybe only 8 inches long.
Wow.
And this is like 1 year of growth.
That's
less
impressive. I almost have to move mine under a grow light based on that, because mine is chugging by but not putting out incredible new growth. But I have mine in a northeast facing window. I almost need to like move it under a grow light now after seeing
Try it. I mean, I can't explain like what happens, but I will say that despite it looking like this, it does drop a lot of leaves.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of like bare,
I see.
Stems and stuff. And I'll find all the leaves like in pots on the bottom, like on leaves. And I don't really know how to keep this plant like super happy to the point where it keeps all its leaves, but.
And it hasn't flowered for you yet.
Not that I've noticed.
Okay.
But interestingly enough, when I first got it, there was no blooms, but if you got your face into the plant, you can smell like this citrusy smell.
Interesting.
And I couldn't figure out like where it was coming from. So maybe it flowered at one point before I received it and fell off, but why can't you do that here?
It's kind of like when somebody puts perfume in there and then like in a note card and then like reminiscent of the smell.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it was next to one that was wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. And then some Discidias up here, right?
Yes.
And you have a variegated one over here.
Yes.
Tiny leaves compared to that.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. That one, the variegated one, I imported that one. Yeah. Because we couldn't find it here at the time. And this one, again, was another Home Depot find.
Oh my God, amazing that you're getting some nice full plants from Home Depot. Good on you.
Yeah, well, that's when I had a lot more time and just going to Home Depot for no reason. But no, it was when I was renovating this place and I was at Home Depot like 3 times a week for building material. Yeah. And I'm like, oh look, let's just wander to the plant section.
These shelves didn't make themselves.
Yeah, that's right. But it's funny because this one only this year started steadily putting growth out. Yeah.
Is that a stingray but variegated?
Yes, and here's the mother.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I have never seen a variegated
This is
one
my pride and joy.
Amazing.
It was a random find in a nursery, and it started out with like nothing. It started out with very, very little faint variegation, and then I had to have it. I had to try it. And this happened. It became more blocky, and then I repotted it one day and had corms. So I was like, well, let's see what happens. I think out of the 8 or so, 10 corms, only 2 of them have variegation, but it's still really interesting. And that one is kind of the front runner of all the babies so far.
The variegation reminds me of, and the shape of it reminds me of a xanthosoma, those Mickey Mouse ones that are kind of funky looking.
Yeah, everyone gets them confused. Everyone thinks that one is a stingray, and then they call this the taro root. I'm like, I promise you it's not.
Okay.
Yeah. But I just feel very fortunate to have stumbled upon that one.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah. So they get the special treatment in there as well until they get too big in the terrariums.
Well, it looks like you're doing like all that you need to do for like propagation. I think people, if you ever get to a plant swap, that one would like go like this.
Probably. Everyone would be like, I want your Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah, exactly. And then this is a Soderoy or which one? Okay. And is that another one in the back?
It is. Okay. So one of them is actually a prop from the other one.
Okay.
And the one right in front got a little top heavy and it fell over. And I haven't had the chance to sort of stake it up like we discussed. I'm actually quite a lazy plant parent, I have to admit, now that we're talking about this. But I do have to stake it up or I'll chop it because I know a lot of people are looking for that as well.
Oh, I barely stake all my philodendrons. Like I barely stake them, but it's just
But you have more space to work with, though.
I have more space, but then it's filled up. It's just kind of like it's like a dog that spreads out on the bed. Not you, because you're too small. But like a dog that'll just like take up as much surface area as possible. That's how it is with plants. You just want to take up as much surface area as possible.
It's funny, yeah.
What is this caudiciform in the back?
This is a Philanthus mirabilis. It arrived with 2. I think they're called heads. Yeah. So 2 heads on there. And it was in a prettier state, but I think it's sort of overexerting itself because it's never gone dormant yet. in all the time that I've had it. And it keeps putting out these leaves, which are beautiful.
Yeah.
But then the older ones, of course, look a little worse for wear.
Yeah.
And but I just don't have the heart to chop them right now.
I think we might have seen that one in Singapore, but I haven't seen it growing here. I wonder if it's actually some type of fertilizer deficiency with the
It might be because
between the leaf.
I wonder.
Ends. Yeah.
Actually, because you're right, I don't fertilize that one.
Yeah.
I only just plain tap water it.
Huh.
So, I mean, maybe I should fertilize it and see what happens. Yeah.
And then this is an orchid here, isn't
Yes.
that?
That's the vanilla.
The
Let's
vanilla
see. It's actually
orchid.
hiding behind here.
Yeah.
So, look at that leaf that got no light.
Oh yeah, see that?
Perfect example. It was hiding behind here. So that's a variegated vanilla orchid. So it's actually quite long. So the best thing for me to do was just to wrap it around a trellis. And I think it looks quite nice. The trellis
I like it.
that my friend Andrew gave me.
And then what is this a
Yes, Ceropegia sandersonii.
Nice. That one's a very prolific one. I think out of like my Ceropegias, that one is that one is one of the biggest ones. Yeah.
I can't get it to grow.
Really?
I can't get it to grow and I can't get it to bloom.
I don't actually. I have mine in my southwest facing window, so I don't know if that makes a difference or
It
whatever.
probably does.
Yeah.
It's kind of hiding in the back.
It's never bloomed for me though. Either.
Oh, really?
So yeah, or at least not that I've noticed. So.
Oh, I wonder how to get that thing to bloom.
Yeah.
I mean,
too.
there's a lot of things that I can't get to bloom, like a lot of orchids and stuff.
If anybody knows how to bloom that one, shout it out.
They're going to be like, oh, we do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but speaking of orchid, I want to show you this.
Oh yeah, that's the one that we traded.
We traded this at the plant swap.
The plant swap. This is I can't remember. It's a monophylla.
This is why I have this tag here.
Yeah.
It's the only tag that I have because I can't remember it. So it's
it's a,
how do you
it's a
pronounce
hybrid.
this?
Yeah, it's a monophylla and Peyrodii. Yeah.
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 So to have a piece of, well, not a piece of, that's really creepy to say. A plant that Summer had in my collection.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
I remember just seeing it and I was like, this is so pretty. Whose is this?
Yeah.
And it was yours.
Yeah. I love these types of orchids. They're
so pretty.
They're more terrestrial orchids. They're like jewel-like, but they're not like Ludicea discolor. They're a bit more succulent. I don't know. I like these. I find them to be pretty easy to grow. And then this is a new one that's kind of hit the market.
Yeah.
People like fall on different sides of the camp about it. It's an Epiprenum Shangri-La, right?
Yes, the cooked spinach one.
Yeah, the cooked spinach.
Yeah, because if you take it, I mean, we could take it out and show you.
Yeah.
It literally just looked like a cooked vegetable of some sort, right? And it's just so bizarre that I love it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm attracted to sort of like otter looking plants and they don't necessarily have to be like popular or valuable or anything, but you know, space makes me curate my collection a little bit more, but I just love that one.
I love this Syndapsis jade. Yeah. It's beautiful. I like the darker color.
So do I. It just is, I don't know how to explain it. The new leaves like come in almost like shinier and lighter. Yeah. And then it kind of
darkens up and
gets like rubbery almost.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but I do love that one.
Yeah. Well, speaking of like being lime and then getting darker color, like the raven, the Zamioculcas zammifolia raven.
Oh yeah, I'm all tangled up here. But yeah, this one is just turning into dark. I actually have two of them, but it's really interesting because one of them was a mishmash from a bunch of places before it got popular by Costa.
Yeah.
That's a Costa one that someone gifted me as a homecoming, housewarming.
Yeah.
But they kind of like flourish at the same time.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know if it's like a time of year and it senses it, but it's quite interesting. So there's this one and then that one over there.
Tell me what this philodendron is.
Told me it was a ghost.
A ghost. Oh, it could be like a Florida ghost.
Yeah, but I think that I won't have enough light to ever have it come out white.
Yeah.
The only nice thing, it does come out like with consistently large mature foliage, and then when it first comes out, sometimes you can see that there is variegation right on the leaf. So one of them was like half and half, although it'll just all fade to this darkish green.
Right.
Yeah, so it kind of takes away the joy in that. But it's taken up a lot of real estate in this one, so I have to think about what to do with this. Like everywhere I walk, I bump into it.
Yeah.
And it's got these the floral nectaries on the.
Yes. So it gets
It's
a little sticky. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Oh, here's one like at the base, I think. Although that one feels like it's hard. Yeah. Oh, here. Yeah, I just touched it. And
Yeah.
Little sticky. Oh yeah, and on the petioles. Do you ever like taste them?
Oops.
Are they sweet?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Do people taste them?
I don't know, but my Ripsalis has these little extra flora nectaries, and I've been tasting them, and they taste just like candy.
So actually, this one might have it.
Yeah.
This is a Ripsalis
Pentaptera.
Pentaptera.
Yeah, that's one of my Curioides and my Pentaptera have like little sugar droplets.
Oh, like here?
Yeah, those little ones. Like the no.
Down here.
Yeah,
These
exactly.
guys?
Yep.
You gonna try it?
They're little candies. I already know what it tastes like because I've tasted mine.
Oh, what does it? Does it taste good?
Yeah, it tastes like sugar.
Okay, hang on. Let's see. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Literally just a sugar. Sandra, you want to try?
No thanks. And then all of a sudden YouTube did.
I know, just dead.
He's like, I'm gonna be alive at the end of this video.
No, because I've been eating it. I've been eating it when it comes out. That's my little sugar fix, you know.
I also don't know if you noticed, but behind that.
Oh yeah, it's shingling.
Yes.
Your other Syndapsis shingling.
So this guy,
That's
he started out as a very like wimpy looking 6-inch pot.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it's so prolific, hits the floor constantly. So I'm chopping, propping, putting it back in, giving it away. And then one day I noticed it was shingling and I was like, I'm gonna let it be because I think it looks gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen with it. Maybe it'll be like...
Your landlord's gonna find out and be like, I hope you have to repaint that.
Landlord, so I don't care what happens anymore. My old landlord would have had a fit though, for sure. But I've seen the picture in Fairchild.
Yes.
Where they have that, was it Raphidophyra? I don't know which it is.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I don't even know if they were able to identify it, but it's growing up on the ceiling.
Yes,
Incredible.
yes. So maybe one day that'll be this. It's just gorgeous.
What is that snake plant up there?
So,
look at the leaves.
Yeah, I've never seen such a large one before. This is a Sansevieria or Dracaena, maybe now at this point.
Yeah, Dracaena probably, yeah.
Kirkii blue, I think it's called, or silver blue or something.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen such a large one before.
Yeah.
I mean, it is on camera, like if you look at the size of your hand.
Yeah.
Never seen such a large one before. And the owner of the nursery was like, I have this. And I was like, yeah, okay, because it's like so different.
That is meaty.
I suspect there's a pup here.
Yeah, because it's pushing out.
Yeah, but I can't figure out if it's, I don't know, I'll figure it out one day.
Yeah, well, you might have to take it out. I mean, it looks like it's hardy enough to just pull it out. If it's a Kirkii, then it's probably Dracaena pethera. And then, no, because I think the Kirkii, they got put into Dracaena pethera, but that is stunning.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that you constantly are very up to date with all the name changes, but I don't know where you find out.
Usually I just go to Q Gardens.
They never thought about that.
Yeah, they usually have like a pretty up-to-date versions. And then you could always like double check it in like the scientific literature, as a backup.
Mm-hmm. I'm convinced this plant is actually heavier than my dog.
It probably is because I held your dog.
Yeah.
It doesn't squirm as much though. And then you have a Thai constellation and an albo. Right?
Yes, I got these like way before the prices were absolutely insane.
Good on you.
I mean,
good on you for being a first mover.
This albo is my pride and joy. I got him like when he was like, I don't know, yay tall at an orchid show actually.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know what happened. I guess I just put it on this pole, which has been amazing, and suddenly just put out these massive leaves.
Gorgeous, and the fenestrations that are coming in.
Oh my gosh, I never
nice.
thought I would have inner fenestrations on a monstera indoors.
Yeah.
But here it is, and I mean, I just love this plant.
It looks like you've been taking some of his aerial roots off the...
Oh, yeah. Because I didn't realize it adhered.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize that because it was already a dry aerial root, so I just thought it would just sit there.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that it just actually attached.
Yeah.
And there are roots that go all the way down. So some are in the pot, but some, as I discovered the other day, it hit the floor and it's like going across the the baseboard, and I'm like, oh no, what am I gonna do?
My first Monstera, I had it in my southwest facing window. It got a little chlorotic, but it stuck out all these aerial roots. And I have an old house, so there's lots of cracks in the wall. And boy, oh boy, I was like pulling out aerial roots from like the insides of like the walls. I had no idea where they were growing.
Oh my
but
gosh.
They do find a way. And they were in every other, it's like a spider plant. They find themselves in other plant pots,
I didn't think about that. Well, I don't have any other soil pots around this one.
Yeah.
Maybe that one though.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's damaging if you have this many to just trim them.
Yeah, I don't
Right?
think so. Yeah, people trim theirs. It's
Okay.
I think it's really for the plant to anchor itself, But if you're
Yeah.
giving it probably good anchorage, then
Thanks to
that should
Command
be good.
Strips.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
Command
3M. Plug for you. Yeah, so I mean, they currently flank my Hoya wall because I didn't know where to put them, and I thought this was just going to be very pretty.
Yeah.
And I think it worked out really well.
Yeah. This one just has a little catching up to do, huh?
Yeah.
You have 2 of them in here.
Yeah.
Did you propagate one, or did you just did you get 3?
Well, that came in one pot together.
Oh,
so I got
nice.
fortunate. And I was like, well, the
Nice.
first thing I'm going to do is separate them.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I got them at the same time, but one is clearly much taller than the other one.
Yeah, that's
So don't know what happened there.
yeah.
But it's fine. It's,
Yeah.
doing its own thing, and, we're happy about that.
And then, so now let's go to the Hoyas.
Yes.
I don't know a lot of these, or some of them I probably have forgotten. I could maybe like Matilda and like Curtsii and maybe a Finlandsonii, and then I have Rotunda Flora. Like I know those, but like take me through them.
Okay, I mean, you definitely got those. This is like one of my recent favorites, just because I also think your eye just goes to it. This is the Hoya, and I think it's Calamentin, although I think through a ton of movement, like trading and selling and all that stuff, people just tend to maybe mislabel at some point. So I don't know if it's like species Calamentin or something, Callistifia, Calamentin, but
and then, so you probably have to, even see when the flowers come out, right? That's when
so
you really...
it recently did.
Oh,
and
nice.
so this tendril, which I was gonna cut, that's being supported by my Monstera.
Yeah.
It had a bloom right here.
Okay. Oh, and I see another
Yeah, and then the peduncle up there formed like 2 days ago.
Oh my God, amazing.
It kind of confirmed from what I saw as Calamentin, the colors.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it smelled like gasoline.
Oh, interesting.
But luckily you couldn't smell it, unless you were up close. Because there are other ones where, I'll be all the way over there and I could smell them.
Yeah.
But thank goodness I couldn't smell that one very much. But
Anyone that was a standout smell that you were just like, oh, I wish you were in bloom all the time?
yes, so I love this one. But, so this is the Hoya obscura.
Okay, that
So
is
this
gorgeous.
is sun stressed for sure, because there's a grow light under there.
Yeah.
So it's starting to bloom again. It's a prolific bloomer. Peduncles will die off because some have. It kind of smells like Fruit Loops to me.
Interesting.
And I wish it was just stronger. I wish this is the one that I can smell through my house because I just love that scent for some reason.
Yeah.
But
The leaves are incredible on this one.
oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
love them on this.
It kind of reminds me of that, like, what's the name of that one that's out? Like Gurunga, like it's like a...
Which I have.
Do you have it?
I'll show you.
But that one has like a larger leaf, I think, but like it's always, like it feels like it's always sun stressed.
Well, you have to sun stress it.
Yeah.
So
Yes, there you go. So look at that. Because I feel like this has become a popular one now.
yes,
Yeah.
it definitely has.
Yeah.
For me, this one is probably a slower grower. I don't know if it is for everybody, but I think it sun stresses better as it grows in under the sun.
The leaf veination is interesting though. See how
Yes.
this is like lime green and then this is like a dark burgundy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, love these guys.
Yeah.
And with Hoya, I feel like I sometimes have to buy them for the foliage because I have no idea if I'll be able to get them to bloom. So for me, it's the bloom is secondary.
Yeah.
And then I find out things like it smells like gasoline. And I'm just like, this is okay. This is great. So let's see what else. Let me just put these down.
Yeah. You need more hands.
I do. Pepper, come help me. So I have this little IKEA shelf down here to help me out, as well as all this. But just starting up here, I guess, some of the more special ones, I guess. This is one I've been looking for a long time. This is called the Hoya Sarawak. And I think a lot of people would argue that it looks like a lot of the things that are out there already. But I don't know, like I've seen some larger specimens and I'm just like, I want that, but I know I have to start with this, you know? So no growth yet on it.
Yeah.
But hopefully it'll get there.
Yeah.
I have a larger Hoya Sunrise down there.
Ooh, this one right here?
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's
really full.
Yes, should I pull it out?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Don't tell me that was a Home Depot plant.
Well, no, I'm kidding. It was not, unfortunately. But it's hiding and tangled up with other Hoyas, which are in Lecca, so it's sort of a, you know, just a water reservoir to deal with.
That's great. Look at
So,
that one.
you can see all the blooms that I didn't even realize that were there.
Oh, yeah.
So you can tell that this side sort of got more light, you know.
Oh, and that's the peduncle right there.
Yeah, there is a peduncle here. This is the one from the back.
Yeah.
There are some up here in the front. This one is dropping off, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But there's, you know, peduncles here. And it's really interesting because there's, I don't know what causes like these large leaves and smaller ones, and some are like wonky looking.
Yeah.
So
I think that's how like different forms and variations start too, right? You get some wonky looking leaves and you're like, I wonder if I could propagate that if it stays like that.
yeah, there was, I had something up there that I thought about doing that with, but I just didn't.
Yeah.
So back there we have, well, way down here, the Hoya, and I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Fuanensis, I think it's called. I think it's pretty. I have developed this recent love for splashy Hoya.
The splash with like the silvers.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think everybody else has as well.
Yeah.
There's that one.
And then the dark variation, I think, is also another.
Yes.
You know,
So there's another
those
one.
two characteristics.
There's another one buried
or fuzzy,
in here.
or some fuzzy, or ones that are like get sun stressed. You know.
Yeah. So this is just they call it the Parak Malaysia, although I don't.
Another new one that I don't know. Many of these, like it kind of looks like others, you know. And,
I agree.
And then maybe the flower all of a sudden is like.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's what makes certain other Hoya like very sought after because they're so different.
Yeah.
Like this one.
Wow, this one's really sun stressed too.
Yeah.
I've seen these a little greener. What's this one right up here? It's got interesting coloration.
So that is the. Can you get it? Otherwise, I'll go take it down.
I could get it.
This one, just be careful with this one.
As long as it's not attached to anything. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the Incrusata Eclipse.
Nice.
And it's really interesting because there's like it almost looks like different types of
different
variegation.
types of variegation. Like this looks like little speckly. This one's all white. This one looks like a Hoya australis kind of one.
Yeah,
like
the elbow marginata. So I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to see how this one grows.
Yeah. Incredible. Nice one.
Thank you.
And then this one is interesting with the red edges.
Yes.
And it's really smooth.
Yeah, so that's it sold to me as the, Pentaphlebia, I think. I can't recall if there's an L in there. But it came all green. And then under grow lights, it did this thing with the red. And there's actually, I think, one spot on top where it's like more red.
Oh, yeah.
Up there. But not quite sure.
It's like a birthmark.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure, you know, if it's going to continue. It's a little stagnant. It's been a little stagnant for a while. This is a hot one that I know a lot of people are after, but I don't know what suddenly happened to it, so consider this a PSA. Yeah. This is the AH074. So this one in particular had very large blotches of silver, and this was silver here. So not quite sure what happened there, but
I wonder if it's just getting damaged from too much light or something.
I don't know. But I think in theory you're supposed to give the silver more light.
Yeah.
But
sometimes when you have like this, you know, like the white starts to brown up a little more quickly. You know, I wonder if it's analogous to that. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe. But this is what I also thought was interesting. The damage is also on the bottom of the leaf, only where the silver is, and the silver doesn't come through on this side of the leaf.
Oh.
So
that's not abnormal though. That you have like different layers, you know, of the plant, and sometimes they're a different color. You know, just how the Mexicanum is. You know.
Yeah.
So.
It'll be interesting. I mean, I'll probably have to prop this just to try and save it, but we'll see what happens. The philodendron strawberry shake, mine is not looking so hot. I think I have to take it out of Lecca.
Those I've never seen one that looks like you know, even these could be a little challenging. I've never seen one so like floriferous, I guess.
I saw one in a shop recently.
Yeah.
And they wanted 4 digits for it.
Oh, no. I
For the same amount of like.
I know what shop you're talking about.
Yes.
I'd rather import that myself.
Yes. So I'm like, I got that again in a trade, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and learn it, and I think I'm learning that it's not good in Lecca, so I probably will put it in soil, stake it to try to get the leaves a little bit larger, and to see from there like what will happen. Let's see what else is in here.
I see a fishtail Polynura. Right?
Yes. It just kind of, again, is stagnant. Not quite sure why, but I do love it.
Yeah.
This one has grown in upside down for some reason. And this one has lost all his leaves.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not perfect with despite all these Hoya. I have seen these in like such lush pots, and people are like, I grew them from one stem, and to me, it's just like, how?
Yeah.
But I'm always scared to just make that chop and try.
I think they, for as much, like they take a lot of time. Like in here, at least in this country, you get them as a little stem or a little node. Or I had gotten I think a Hoya villosa, and as soon as I got it, the leaf fell off. But luckily, the stem was green.
Okay.
And there was enough chlorophyll in there that it popped out another leaf, which I was excited about.
I do have 1 or 2 plants that are like that, that I hope, because now it just looks like I'll show you, a ridiculous stump, and you're just like, what is this supposed to be?
And you're like, fingers crossed for 6 months.
Here, I'll show you.
Out.
So it's funny that you said villosa. I have one of those as well. This guy, but it won't really hold more than 3 leaves for some reason.
Yeah, there it is.
It's so fuzzy.
See, and then and you have this green stem.
Yeah.
That actually has enough chlorophyll that sometimes if you lose the leaf, it'll come back.
So you can see how many times it's grown and fell off and grown and fell off. I can't manage.
Yeah.
And one day this came in soil, and one day I unpotted it, and then I realized it had root mealy's all over. So that was probably the cause for it. And then once I treated that the best I could, like I started growing more. So I was like, oh, that's good, because you could just never tell, you know? So
that's good that you inspected the roots.
It took me way longer than I should have, though.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I leave everything in the pots for too long. But let me show you the stump I was talking about, the unfortunate stump. Wild guess what this might be.
No idea.
It's the Hoya spartioides.
Oh, that's a pretty one.
It is.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
And then, again, it just had to acclimate.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't like my environment. And then
there's roots on it.
Yes.
Though, and it looks like it's still, you know, it's so crispy.
This grew.
Yeah.
And then I repotted it, and then it hated me. So we're back here again.
Okay, fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly. I do love that one, so I'm not gonna try it again if it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But let's hope it works out. What other Hoya are there to show you? The rotundiflora you said you had.
Yes.
This was struggling for a while. And then
I just love that one because of the leaf.
So cute.
Yeah.
It's
like
so
a little
cute.
Rectangle.
Yeah, and then it just started to put this out, so I'm so thankful. And when they come out, this is quite a large one, isn't it? Compared to the other ones. And then when they come out, they're so tiny. They're like little slivers. It's so cute.
And then is yours fuzzy or is it?
I think
not.
You can feel it. I mean, I would consider it fuzzy.
Yeah, it's not as fuzzy. Some of them seem, as they're growing, they seem a little fuzzy. Mine is not fuzzy at all.
Oh,
so
is yours like this one then?
Yeah, it's more like this. Yeah.
So I wonder if there's like different ones that we don't know about.
Yeah, like maybe different forms.
Probably. I know like some smaller leaved Hoyas are more popular now. So this one, I'm probably not gonna take this one out. The Angleriana. I'm like whispering because I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's okay, just go for it. Like I kind of feel like that's how you learn different languages. I don't even pronounce them all. I'd rather just try it, you know.
Well, there's that one, and then also up there the Chinguensis, which my friend Stacy gave me, but it's hating me, so I'll probably transfer it back into soil and attempt that, or just try and save like pieces of it. And see if I can revive that little bit. What else is back here? The fungi is here. I got this from a friend, this Svetlana. I'm hoping this one will grow because it's one of the more popular ones now. So this one's a little bit wonky, but I don't know if you've seen the actual Svetlana. Again, it's like another...
Svetlana, like a Russian name?
Yes, like a Russian name. I'm waiting for a Hoya Candice one day.
I'm sure it's out there already, who knows?
I just have to discover it and name it myself. What else is there? The Incrustada, I think it's just called the Variegated Incrustada.
Like a variegated.
Yeah, so I love this one because like the new growth comes in, like the stem, I can't see it from here, but it comes in pink. It's so cute. Yeah. What else? It's just like more basic and common and like better with lower light up there.
Right.
So there's
your Curtisia, is that
the Curtisia that I got from my friend Steven. There's some ovavata, there's a crinkled egg.
Yeah.
Two ovavata, actually. It was so root bound I had to separate them.
Oh, good on you. That's an ovavata, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
so that one and then this one.
Yeah.
And one of the easiest Hoya to grow if you're ever going to start a Hoya.
I agree.
Yeah.
Although I've not gotten mine to flower yet, so when I went over to Phoebe's house, I was like, oh my gosh.
You know, she got that one from me.
Did she? Oh my God, is that when you were moving?
That was when I first started out with plants.
Oh
It didn't, like, I think it was way too chlorotic.
Yeah.
And all these things, and she's like, "Oh, we're schooling." And I was like, "Okay, here we go."
God, good on you. Okay,
and I was like, "Oh man,
the worlds collide."
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "Oh man, I should have kept it," but it's okay.
That's
I have
so
those.
funny.
I have all these other ones to deal with now, so it's fine.
I think there's over amounts of species with Hoya,
Yeah.
and they're trying to figure out, because there's so many different forms of the leaves. At least that's what I found from like Hoya, Hoya folks. But the real Hoya aficionados like want to have as many species as possible. So
that brings up a thought too. I feel a little guilty about loving Hoya so much, or like any other species so much, because now there are people who are like poaching plants in the wild.
I know.
And it's really crazy. I just feel terrible about that. And you just don't know where your plant comes from either.
Right, exactly. I think the one thing that's good about Hoya in general, and I'm not saying that I'm an expert in it, but you really you don't have to uproot a Hoya to get Hoya. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You could just get a node or like a little stem and a little leaf.
Right.
So it's not one of those plants where, say like some of the like Dionea muscipulas, or like the little, I can't think of the common name, the Venus flytraps.
Oh, I couldn't recognize that name. Yeah.
Yeah, like you just like you have to remove them from the earth, right? And this one, click off a stem. You don't have to like rip it out from the ground.
I mean, I hope that's
I hope,
what
but
do.
I think they're just more forgiving and prolific, and especially in nature, they're edge species. Oftentimes, if somebody cuts down a tree, there's a Hoya on it if it's in that habitat, and then they can remove the Hoya off of it, or they could snip it. That's what I'm thinking, but I think there's a lot of other plants that have like way more intense pressure. But you're right. Who knows where some of these plants are coming from?
Yeah.
And Hoyas are not ones that grow from seed very well because they don't always produce seed pods.
It's true.
So,
and I've never seen a seed pod on a Hoya in person for me.
Yeah.
I know some people have managed to have that happen, but then you have to know how to actually grow it.
Well, you have to know how to grow it, and if it got cross-pollinated by another species, then you don't know whether it's true to species either.
Yes,
right? So,
that's right. I mean, I recently had an experience where someone was like, "Oh, it's a Hoya this," and I was like, "This looks nothing like it." And they're like, "Oh, the parents are one of these," and I was like, "But then don't call it that."
Ish. Yeah.
If you knew, ish,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. And I think that sort of people don't know where they're getting it from as well, and then information gets lost.
Yes.
Right, just down the line. Not that you're being dishonest; it just simply gets lost.
Exactly.
And
like a plant tag. I lost a plant tag the other day, and I'm like, I can't remember what this plant is.
Oh no!
I put it on my Instagram Live. I was like, if anybody knows what this plant is, let me know.
Oh, did you get an answer?
I didn't get an answer yet. No.
Oh no!
Yeah. I think it's some type of kalanchoe, but it looks like a crassula, but the flower looks like a kalanchoe.
Okay.
We got some interesting things over here. Beautiful.
This is a Hoya GPS Silhouette, I think 8867.
Wow.
One of the more popular ones now. Came with one leaf, and this leaf, when it came in, it was like really red.
Yeah.
But I think it's fading to green now.
I just love the texture and how it
Yes.
just like sits like a little dish, you know?
I love the little like cuppy textures on a lot of Hoya now, and it's just, again, I buy it for the foliage, and I just love this type of stuff. So eventually this will go into Lecca to see how it does, or really it doesn't have to.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm really thinking about what I want to do, keep everything in Lecca or not.
And then what's this big dinner plate one? It's kind of growing up behind this too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like growing up up here.
Yeah, the piece of Lee is hiding it. I can't pull that one out, but
it's okay.
It's a Hoya. I'm gonna try and pronounce this, the Lois andrewsiana. And like, if you look at the size of these leaves, like they are quite huge.
Yeah, that is massive. I mean, I have large hands, so.
I'm really happy about that one. I can't wait till that one grows in a little more.
Do you know what kind of flowers it gets?
No idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, again, I buy for foliage, so I don't really go for the flowers.
Yeah, flowers are just a benefit.
Benefit. And some of them are much more memorable than others.
Yeah.
You know, but I just...
Like the gasoline smelling one?
No. Yeah, that one.
I wonder who pollinates that, you know? Like who pollinates?
I don't think they can predict the scent. And you know what they say about Hoya blooms is that everyone interprets the scent differently.
Oh.
Like, it might be generally the same, but everyone might interpret it differently.
Yeah, I could see that.
So, it's also hard to sort of pick a scent out of thin air.
Exactly. Yeah. You're like, oh, does that smell like, because you're trying to reference something. Like, I'm like, that kind of smells like jasmine. And then somebody says, oh, it's like more like bubble gum. And you're like, yeah, you're right, you know?
Yes, exactly it.
Yeah, indeed. And so is this where you're like propagating some things, or it's just an extra shelf?
It's an extra shelf, to be honest with you. I mean, some things just happen to be propagating in there. Like, this is the extent of my propagations, really. I just don't really do it because I already have a space issue. But I'll run you through like what's in here. So this was a gift from my friend Alessia. She's an apartment botanist.
Apartment botanist, yes.
Variegated philodendron burley marks. And I mean, I'm waiting for it to grow, but it's just great. And I also got this from her too, the white wizard, which... Nice. I am waiting for it to like fully root to sort of, you know, get in a pot, and it's turning a little yellow, but it's like, come on, roots, hurry up a little bit.
Keep on going.
Yeah. So just going from what's right. So we have the philodendron El Choco, which hates my apartment, so that's why I did that. This is one of the...
What's this guy?
That's also supposed to be an El Choco. I tried three times with this plant.
Okay, well this one's still looking good though. You know? Yeah.
So these are, so this is interesting because I at one of your plant swaps. So do you see this one?
Yes, it's variegated.
Yeah. So
is it an Oria, or is it a ZZ Oria, or ZZ Zamifolia Oria, or is it more white variegation?
I think it's more yellow, but I'll actually pull out another plant. So basically at one of your plant swaps, I traded with somebody a stem of a very lightly variegated ZZ plant.
Yeah.
So I cut off the leaves with a part of the stem and rooted them. So a year later, finally, they created bulbs and whatnot. And so far, in the first flush, none were variegated. In the second flush, one came out variegated, and then one other one. And I'll show you that one.
Interesting. Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I think it's just considered Oria.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any variegated ZZ that aren't yellow, to be honest.
Yeah,
but I mean, if they're out there. I mean, there's also different like dedications and types like Ikubono, and I mean that's like more than I know.
Yeah, I always usually just call it Oria or Variegata. I'm like, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, I had one that popped out recently that was all yellow.
The entire thing?
The whole thing was yellow. One stem, all yellow. And I was like, I'm going to take a photo of this before it just falls by the wayside.
But does it have like other stems?
It has other stems, but it was all green, and then all of a sudden it went all yellow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you still have it?
I still have it, yeah. But that stem has no leaves on it anymore. The stem's still alive.
Yeah.
But like, it probably, all those yellow leaves probably lasted for maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh.
But it's kind of like the white parts, you know, sometimes it got like really brown more quickly than like a green one.
It's just kind of sad though, because it takes so long to grow even one stem, and then you're like, oh, well, you just, you know.
I know, I'm wondering if I should have like actually cut off some of the leaves and tried to propagate those, but I didn't, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things, it's space constraints, and I didn't think about it.
Yeah, and this one again takes a very long time. Yeah. If you want that project, then great, but you know. So there's a little Mathilde back here he's hiding because I just separated him.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I guess you can consider this a propagation.
Yeah, it's like a little thumbprint. looking?
Yeah. They're so cute now.
Yeah.
And the little splashes, the shape and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And they have this thing that they're trying to market, the Matilda splash, but
Really?
it's just a
No,
splash
it's
here.
just- yeah.
Here's a small Hoya parviflora, I think it's called, waiting for this guy to grow.
That one's splashy too.
So this one isn't like, this one is splashy by nature.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna like lose any
Yeah.
splash. This one I'm super excited about. I just got this like 2 days ago, the Hoya, I think it's actually pronounced Nicola, not Michelle.
Okay. Don't know this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another one that people like me, they go crazy over.
So,
Bless you.
God bless you. Oh, it walks right into it. I just headbutted
You little
that plant.
He just wants to be close to us. This is an exciting Hoya, which, again, a lot of people are after right now. The Hoya Rincei Borneo
I
with a
love
new
the
leaf coming
That
in.
is sexy.
Yeah, so this one can sun stress as well. This one grew in my care under this light, but it didn't stress.
Okay.
So who knows what's going to happen. Yeah. And this is Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, but, so someone gifted this to me.
Okay.
And the two bottom leaves have, oh, it needs water, have a little bit of variegation on there.
Oh, that's cool.
And he was just like, grow it out, see what happens.
Yeah.
So far, nothing else.
Yeah.
So this is one of those ones that
Interesting.
just aren't stable, I think. I mean,
yeah.
I'll grow it some more, but otherwise, if not, then I have another one of these.
Yeah.
I have two in my bedroom. One of them goes up to the ceiling and around.
They're so, I love how prolific they are.
Yes, it's so amazing. I really should have rethought this process because now I feel like I'm like digging for buried treasure.
You are digging for buried treasure.
Yeah.
You buried it.
I did.
And you're like, oh, I forgot I had this.
It's like a squirrel.
Yeah.
With the nuts. This was here, right? So this is just a top cutting of a philodendron splendid, which is Melanochrysum / varicosum.
Those are hard. Those are hard to keep looking beautiful.
The base is over there, and it grew to the point where the stake actually toppled over. So that's one bad thing. Don't use stakes like too tall of a stake in Lecca because it will just topple over. So I ended up chopping it up and creating a bunch. And I kept the top, but it's a bit dry.
I like the glass actually.
Oh, I think it's a jam jar maybe?
Oh my gosh, that's nice.
I repurpose a lot of glass jars, and that's just what I use for like, instead of these like inner net pots, I just go into it and I just...
and these are like little...
yogurt jars.
Yogurts, yeah.
They should sponsor me. I have like 100 here.
That's how I feel about my Republic of tea. I'm like, I plant all my succulents in those, and I love that tea.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, save me jars. And people are like, why do you want jars? I lost the lid. Doesn't matter. Just give me that.
Doesn't matter. I don't need the lid.
Yeah, exactly. So I got this on eBay actually. I probably shouldn't have. This is another one of those things where it's like, they sell it as a splash. Yeah. But it's really just a splashier Hoya. And this is a perfect example, so I'm going to show you. So all of these basically had all this splash. Yeah. But when the new leaves grow in, so it's normal again.
It's like a regular.
I couldn't
resist. An abovada?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I couldn't resist myself. Yeah. I just wanted to try it for myself and just learn and experiment. And exactly what I thought was going to happen happened. Yeah. So.
Lessons learned. Yeah, there's a lot of lessons in this video, I feel.
I mean, that's pretty much how I live my plant life. It just money goes down the drain, but lessons learned.
And is this like is this a domino or is it?
I think it's just a regular peace lily.
I'm still looking for the Picasso. Did you know that one with like the?
There's this guy on.
And I'm not even crazy about spats, but that one is so beautiful.
It's so gorgeous. Yeah. That one will cost you an arm and a leg for a legit blocky one.
I'm sure.
So this is just a random one that like I found some variegation.
That's cool.
Like some of the leaves have it, so I think it's just clumped out. Yeah. Because it's not like...
Yeah, sometimes they plant like a few in there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like maybe one had the variegation.
Yeah, and it's not like, what is it called? Like not everything has it, it's not steady, so that's what makes me believe it's actually variegated and not one of these cultivated ones. Yeah. I actually did have a variegated one over there on the Hoya wall. Oh. It's not as impressive.
Oh, I see, yeah, okay, wow. That's cool. It's tiny, love it.
It used to be more white.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just not getting enough light.
Well, I am deeply impressed by your collection. We
Thank you.
covered a lot. Like,
Thank you.
it's such
We
a
did.
small space and we covered a lot. I feel like, oh my God, we're running out of time.
I'm very good at Tetris. Just like how much
Very
stuff can we
good.
fit in the wall?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking us through this. This is
Thank you for
amazing.
coming. I really appreciate it.
If you're looking to up your plant game, then check out our suite of courses and offerings, including Houseplant Basics, Troubleshoot Your Houseplants, the 125 Houseplant Care Spreadsheet, and the Houseplant Masterclass. The courses provide you a certificate of completion when you're finished and a wealth of information that you could use to impress both your plants and your friends. More information can be found over at homesteadbrooklyn.com. And if you're seeking more information about gardening outdoors and homesteading in the country, then check out our new channel over at Flock Finger Lakes. See you there!